Before you ask the question, yes, today's video was inspired by one of the greatest dunks after the whistle that we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. So that got me thinking, just what are the top 20 greatest plays that ever happened after a foul was called? And just to be clear, that's how this list works. It's after the whistle in which a foul was called. Shots that happened after a buzzer, whether a quarter expired or was the end of regulation, will not count on this list. It's only the situations where a play's happened after a foul or a violation. Now, one thing I do want to clarify before I get into the list. It is utterly impossible to do a completely thorough list on this type of content, because the reality is, so many of these plays aren't celebrated or preserved on film, because they literally did not count. These are the top 20 greatest plays that happened after the whistle that I know about. So if there's other ones that you think should have made the list, please let me know in the comment section below what they were, and maybe you'll be bringing it to my attention for the very first time. So let's enjoy the list, but let's also take it with a major grain of salt, knowing that my knowledge is limited on the NBA, and there's no way I can possibly know every great play that happened after a whistle. First off, at number 20 is Paul George's 360 windmill dunk. He actually did this in the heat of competition multiple times, but this instance was by far the most clean. And although it didn't count and it came well after the whistle, these are the kind of moments that the 20,000 fans in the arena will always remember. So I love instances like this, because after all, it's all about entertaining the audience. Number 19. Dominique Wilkins' illegal putback dunk. For those of you who didn't know, you're not actually able to hang on the rim while you're converting a putback basket. But Dominique Wilkins did it in this instance, seeing that it was just an exhibition match, and man, he did it with his usual Dominique flair, as he made it a highlight to remember. Number 18. Dwayne Wade's half-court bomb against the Sacramento Kings. This one obviously didn't count, but it was some amazing sharpshooting from Wade, and being the showman that he is, he certainly leaned into the moment and gave that audience a highlight to remember. Number 17. Anthony Davis's spinning half-court three. He was off balance on this play, and obviously, if play had continued, this is probably going to be called a traveling violation. But regardless, it came well after the whistle, and it looked beautiful to say the least, as he was pirouetting and then hit a perfect swish to complete the play. Number 16. LeBron's insane windmill putback slam after Dwayne Wade's miss. The amount of highlights from the LeBron Miami era are pretty much endless, and this one absolutely would be an all-timer if it wasn't for the whistle. He could have just put it back in with authority, but instead he added a little extra flair to it and completed it with a windmill. Number 15. Andre Iguodala's one-handed prayer. You've got to have a lot of body control and decent hands to make this one. Maybe this was the play that Max Kellerman was thinking of when he said that Andre Iguodala should be the guy shooting the ball with the fate of the universe on the line. Number 14. Ja Morant's alley-oop windmill. This one was electric, as he completed one of the most difficult alley-oop plays in basketball. This guy is a walking highlight, and due to the fact that it didn't count, it's basically just a footnote for his amazing career so far. But I just love how box office this guy is, and how aggressive he is about finishing the play even after he's heard the whistle. Number 13. Vince Carter's behind the back shot. This is one of those goofy horse shots that we all tried when we were a little kid, but Vince Carter actually buried it and looked incredibly smooth in the process. I feel like at one point or another in NBA history, this actually could have been counted as an and one, seeing that it could be argued that this was a continuation play. Number 12. Vince Carter's baseline windmill dunk. He had an insanely quick first step, and a foul was called away from the ball, but Carter decided to put on a show anyway, as he remained completely sideways in midair, yet completed the windmill dunk with his usual flair, and I'm sure the crowd was extremely grateful for it. Number 11. Nikola Jokic with the ultimate Nikola Jokic shot. As a Lakers fan, I know full well that this guy will sometimes just heave anything at the basket, and although I want to blame it exclusively on luck, admittedly, there is a lot of skill involved. Number 10. Richard Jefferson's poster slam. This one was especially stunning considering the fact that it was well after Richard Jefferson's prime. But with that being said, he clearly still had some explosiveness and finished this dunk with authority. And this is one of those plays that I actually think should have counted. Let me know in the comment section below if you're seeing the offensive foul here, because I'm not seeing it. Number 9. Blake Griffin absolutely posterizes Gortat. At this early stage of his career, this was something that Griffin was doing to just about everybody. And remember when he embarrassed Mozgov, dunked on him, and grabbed the back of his head as he did it? Well, he almost did this same thing to Gortat. The only thing is, this play didn't count, as he was hit with a charge and he couldn't believe it. Number 8. Anthony Edwards' poster slam on Gabe Vincent. This one didn't count, but it was yet another really tough call. I do think they got the call right though, as Vincent was out of the restricted area, and to my naked eye, it did look like his feet were set. Regardless of that fact, it was an incredible display of athleticism from Anthony Edwards. And to this day, I think he's still devastated about the fact that it didn't count. Number 7. Jamal Murray utterly humiliates the Milwaukee Bucks. This poster slam was insane, and I remember it. When Jamal Murray did it, I didn't think he was capable of getting that high up in the air. Because by the time he was slamming it through the basket, it almost looked like he was looking down at the rim. Number 6. Kobe Bryant posterizing Tim Duncan for what could have been a game-winning slam. As a Kobe fan who's constantly debating about who is the best player of their era, Kobe Bryant or Tim Duncan, this one hurts me. Because this would have been a beautifully symbolic moment for me if Kobe converted this jam and it actually counted. Then consider the fact that it would have been added to Kobe's legacy as a game winner would have been some legendary stuff. As devastated as I was, look at Kobe's face. I don't think anybody's more upset than he was. Number 5. Allen Iverson humbles Dwight Howard. The antics on this one are very hilarious, as Dwight Howard pulls what is known as a KG move, when Allen Iverson shoots this shot after the whistle, and Dwight Howard knocks it away. So then the answer basically says, alright, try this one, and puts it so ridiculously high out of his reach and buries it, which has Howard looking on, simply shaking his head. Number 4. Shannon Brown's filthy block shot. You guys all know this play, as it quickly became one of the greatest basketball memes of all time. Not just for his athleticism and for the incredible ferocity of the block shot, but the response of the Lakers bench was absolutely beautiful, as even talented players like Kobe Bryant and Lamar Odom could do nothing but marvel at the sheer athleticism of Shannon Brown. Number 3. LeBron James's reverse lob finish from Delonte West. Inevitably, cue the father and son jokes, but this pass from West to LeBron I desperately wish would have counted, as this was one of the greatest alley-oop finishes of LeBron's career, and after he converted the play, even he had to take a moment and give a look to the audience that basically said, yeah, that was pretty good. Number 2. Alperen Şengün absolutely detonates on Zach Collins. This one was utterly insane, as he dunked it through a tremendous amount of contact with an enormous amount of ferocity. And it was a bit scary as well, as Zach Collins fell flat on his back and hit the back of his head. So ultimately, everybody wanted to make sure he was okay, and he ultimately was. But let's all admit, the fact that he got bodied and landed in such a gruesome way almost added to the embarrassment and the disrespect of the dunk itself. Again, it didn't count, but man, what a highlight this one was. Number 1. Ja Morant dunking on Victor Wembanyama. Now listen, you guys all know me. I'm the Basketball History Channel, and I'm always paying respect to the plays from yesteryears. And a lot of the time, when I'm doing ranked lists like this, it's the older plays and the older guys who get the number 1 spot. Some people might accuse me of being a slave of the moment, but I honestly don't think that's the case. Victor Wembanyama is well on his way to being one of the greatest shot blockers in the history of the game. He's either 7'4" or 7'5" tall. And Ja Morant is so much shorter and has a ridiculous vertical leap, and just absolutely went for it as he utterly posterized Wemby. To be fair, Victor probably didn't know that he was going to finish the play attacking so aggressively, since the whistle did happen quite a while before that. But regardless of whether or not he knew, we now have the visual, and this will remain as arguably the greatest what-if dunk highlight of all time. Again, there's so many different after the whistle plays that you could mention in this video, but these are my top 20. Let me know what your top choices are in the comments section below and what plays I might have missed. I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.